At this point, you were no longer a stranger to danger. For the past few months, you've been living with your half-succubus, half-vampire girlfriend/neighbor. You've been involved in numerous counts of crimes, including manslaughter, auto crashes, kidnappings, theft, etc., etc. She would often have you steal food from grocery stores from every town, every city you guys inhabited for the few hours or days you were there. Of course, she didn't need the food. It was you who did, so you could replenish your energy in order to feed her. On multiple occasions, she would sneak into barns and drink the blood of whatever livestock she could find to supplement her diet, since your bone marrow could only produce so much. "Pig blood tastes the most similar to human blood," she would say, "but nobody's got nothing on your blood." So there you two were, running around the towns, the cities, the countries. There was only so much damage you could do to one country until you had to leave it. And of course, it always helps to country hop where they speak a completely different language from the next. And of course, somehow, she knew every single language spoken and could easily speak it right back. "Succubus magic," she would often tell you when you looked at her with amaze every time she showcased a new tongue. "We gotta seduce them in their own language, you know." On another note, you are more satisfied with your life now than ever. Constantly on the run, doing things, traveling, sightseeing, adrenaline missions, you name it. You didn't enjoy seeing her kill people, but you did have to admit, it was starting to become like normal for you. No more did it faze you. This new phase of your life where you lived with her, did all sorts of adult activities with her, killed some people for her. This was all just your new normal by now. It was easier to think about it as if you were part of her species. You killed people, sure, but it's not like it's wrong if you're another species, right? You were practically there. It's as if you had recently become one with her, and thus her kind as well. Your species kill all sorts of animals just to consume them. So really, what's the difference in you killing people? An eye for an eye, was it not? "Hey!" Her soft voice took you out of your flooded headspace. "I'm hungry. Feed me!" You noticed a half-filled bowl of ox blood sitting beside her on the hard wooden floor of the small shed you guys were inhabiting at the moment. You had to kill the gardener to get it, and unfortunately, they were an old man that she adamantly refuses to drink the blood of. Unhesitant, you rolled up your cotton shirt sleeve to reveal the pale skin of your forearm to her. You quickly got used to her lifestyle of staying inside most of the time, as although she wasn't a full vampire, she had to be careful out in the sun as she was more susceptible to burns than humans. She smirked up at you, then pushed the limb down as she climbed atop your lap to straddle you. "Not like that," she said, then placed a finger onto your groin area. "I want this." Your cheeks flushed, and you felt arousal start to swirl where she was probing. At the sight of red in your face, she licked her lips. Yeah, this feels incredible." Her feathery light hair perfectly enclosed her breasts as she bounced on top of you with fervor. Radiant with iridescent bulbs of sweat that dropped from her chest onto your abdomen. In the middle of the act, she sunk her fangs down into the plane of skin that covered your sternum. Although it stung very sparingly, you could feel the hot liquid begin to trickle down your torso. Combined with that sensation was the silky texture of her wet tongue lapping up the blood. Maybe no longer full or human, it started to turn you on even more. You grabbed her hips and proceeded to push yourself down on top of her, effectively setting a position where you were able to thrust into her heat, her lower back pressed hard into your Adonis belt. Her whimpers rang softly in your eardrums, whispers of desire that only enabled her to force you off of that edge. She was quick to follow as she joined you in your ever-glowing ecstasy. Okay, so maybe I was a bit hungry in both aspects. You wrapped your arms around her to pull her close. She looked up at you. I have... The sound of a national emergency broadcast rang out in the distance. Damn, looks like our cover was blown again. Come on, let's move.